Oh, look who decided to finally show up. Peek, this is the last time I'm going to tolerate you being late. In fact, that's why I want you to make sure you have on your Vincero watch next time.
Do you have it on? He's barely got it on. He's still putting it on.
A great timepiece means you're always on time. And they sponsored this episode of Open House. We're going to hear more from them at the end of the show.
My Peek's still putting on his watch.
You go ahead. It's making sure it's comfortable.
It's always
impossible to be uncomfortable.
Because it's so worn in.
Yeah.
It's like a second skin, man.
I'm going to take this opportunity at the beginning of the show to do some promotion because I'm having all these chest pains, and I think it's because I'm stressed because Arizona Circle premiere is coming up.
Excuse me?
Yeah, the new sketch comedy pilot from Funhaus.
So the first question is probably, when are we going to get to see Arizona Circle?
Oh, probably September.
It's a long time to have heart pain.
Your first question this week comes from VT Dino. In anticipation of The Meg, what ancient creature would you go 1v1 with?
I can just say, without a shadow of a doubt, that I would go against the scariest ancient creature I can think of, Jason Statham.
Ooh.
Good luck, my friend.
I don't plan on winning, but I think that even if I lose, people will have respect for me.
He'll just cover himself in oil.
Oh, yeah. Sliding around like a penguin.
I would pick the most ancient of creatures, Chris Christopherson.
Oh!
I just learned he was still alive. And I think he's got to be like 95 or 100 years old at this point.
His name is Whistler.
Either way, he was super deadly in the movie Blade.
Didn't he have a metal leg or something?
And he had a metal leg. So it'd be a hard battle and hard fought. But I eventually would win because I am 60 years younger than he.
And then you get to make out with his daughter.
Jessica Biel.
His real life daughter's like 76.
Oh, no. No, Blade Universe daughter. Everything we talk about is Blade Universe. It should be assumed. Speaking of which, I'm going to face up against the ultimate and most ancient of evil, Steven Dorff. Because Blade already taught me how. I just have to, like, spin whip kick stuff out of the air at him. So I would just be throwing a bunch of fidget spinners in the air. Wata! Kicking it.
Norris is really good at that.
I'd like to fight Goliath from the tale of David and Goliath, because I'm pretty sure the stories are exaggerated, and he was probably just about 5'8".
Yeah. Everyone was malnourished back then, so the average height was probably like 4'3". You put your hand on his head and he'd swing at you.
After I just like take a bite of a protein bar and then just kind of kick him in the shin.
I would fight a creature from one of the most important Anglo-Saxon texts of all time, Grendel's mother from Beowulf.
She's a titan.
But it would be the naked Angelina Jolie one from the the movie.
I'd like to fight her, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Now we're talking.
That gold booty.
You don't know how hard I looked for that vagina. When they did the motion capture, they did add a little bit of nipple there.
They did.
But they did not do anything for the vagina.
No vagina.
Believe me,
I know.
I looked.
James is right, because I looked too.
I looked. In 3D, I looked too.
Well, she got a long snake tail. It might have been all the way at the end.
Yeah, like Mewtwo.
Matt Peak, which naked old woman would you fight?
Helen Keller.
Judi Dench.
Jesus!
Oh!
It's not an ancient creature.
He's a pacifist. He couldn't even
Stick
hit you
with the
back.
question.
Think about it.
All right, Judas.
You betrayed my best friend.
Oh, you can fight the rock monsters from Noah. Darren Aronofsky's Noah.
Oh, yeah.
They're ancient creatures.
Those
That's a good
are
one.
angels inside them rocks.
Whatever, who cares? Next question from That Shit Is Whack. This year I'm becoming a senior in high school, and in order to graduate I need community service hours. However, I have yet to do any hours whatsoever. What are some suggestions that you guys have for achieving community service hours?
Well, don't speaking engagements count?
Do
so
they?
you can go to an old folks home, probably like the VA. Tell them about your days in war, but, just talk about your Call of Duty kill streaks or whatever.
And then I sent some dogs out.
Yeah.
And then the
I call
Moab
them
hit. I think San Francisco has these clinics where what they do is, in order to get drug addicts off the street, they just give them drugs. So I think you should work at one of those places where all you do is give drug addicts drugs. That's got to be the easiest job in the world, right?
Probably.
That's what they're there for.
The product does the selling for you.
Exactly.
You want drugs? Yes.
They need it.
Mine's a truthful suggestion. Volunteer like a dog shelter, animal shelter. But as one of those guys that wears the big padded suit to train the attack dogs.
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
Mine's very similar to Elise's. I would say volunteer to clean off all the spray paint from the big glass underground thing at the SeaWorld show, because there's a pretty good chance you might befriend that whale, and the next thing you know, you're setting them loose, Free Willy.
Blackfish was the Free Willy.
And also,
It freed all the whales.
It might grab your leg and pull you down underneath and then hold you down.
All right, then I change it. Go to Japan and be one of those guys that kills dolphins.
A whaler?
Yeah.
I say there's a lot of people out there that have yet to get their victory royale in Fortnite. So spend your time playing Fortnite, and every match you don't get victory royale, somebody else does. So every game you play, you're handing out wins.
That's true.
And it's making people's day.
That's really nice
It
of you.
really gives people a charge, gets a spring in their step. So every time you lose, just pat yourself on the back.
I've done hundreds of hours of that.
Wow. Well, maybe you can transfer some of those community service hours over to that shit is whack right
It's
there.
not the equivalent of picking up trash next to the highway.
Matt Peak, what would you do?
That's
I was
better.
going to say pick up trash.
Next question from Backboardy. Google decides to officially shut down YouTube. Without it, how does each Funhaus member retain their fame and status on the internet?
2 words. Vinestar.
Whoa!
Woo! Vinestar, baby. I'm bringing it back.
Yeah.
I'm restarting it.
No one tell them.
Everything's better. What? What do you
Everything
mean?
is better.
No,
Everything's
do
better in a 6-second increment.
Yeah.
I can do really funny videos. Man, it's great.
I think it's a solid idea.
You nailed
All right,
it.
Vinestar. I'm
Can't
in.
wait.
As you all know, I've always dreamt of being a comedy writer, and I think there's no better way I could gain fame and status through my comedy writing than being the guy who writes all of the really low quality animation spin-offs of DreamWorks films that go up on Netflix.
Like
so
what?
like the
What are the
Captain
examples?
Underpants
Man,
series
people
and
love
the
that
Boss
guy.
Baby series. They even had that Racing Snails series. Those are all my shows.
Turbo?
Turbo.
Thank you.
Watch out, though. You won't be able to go to just a restaurant anymore. Is that the guy who wrote the spin-off for Turbo?
It is. That's me in the flesh.
I like where your head's at.
Yep. Okay,
I don't
thank
want to encroach on your territory, though. I'm going to go with a different kind of comedy writing. That's the lost art of aim away messages. People don't do it anymore, you know? It's just oh, you left me on scene. Where's that witty little snapback?
People don't even know what AIM is. We don't know what you're talking about.
I already have a fallback. A little website called roosterteeth.eu.
Oh,
Okay.
the European Rooster
And you
Teeth.
can visit me there now.
How is that website different?
A lot less Gavin. They
Oh,
don't like
less
them in
Gavin.
Europe.
Really? Wow.
I'm going to have to move over to the fastest growing app, that one Zack Snyder uses. What's it called?
Vero.
Vero.
Vero, yeah. I'm
I was
exclusive-
blowing up on Vero for a week.
I'm exclusively on Vero. If you want your account hacked by Russian bots or whatever, be sure to download it and sign up.
Explosion 2? Oh, the sequel. All right, so Funhaus TV has been a runaway success despite broadcast TV being in decline. What old media is Funhaus going to tackle next?
Funhaus Vero.
Oh,
We're gonna start
wow.
our own Vero account. I
thought
know
it was
I
Vero's.
said old media, but
back.
I'll allow it.
I know Vero. Yeah, I know Vero's out of style
mean,
right
it's
now,
new-
but we're
new
gonna bring it
media.
back.
That's pretty good. I want to do kabuki theater,
Oh,
where I want
good.
to adapt some of our content into like a wood block and then like we all have white and black
Cool.
masks.
Just like Coco.
At some point, I'll do this and then that.
Wow. Such culture.
I think we're going to bring back the flash mobs. Been in decline in the recent,
Oh my god.
since it started, but
Where's your first one? Where's the
Yeah, what's the-
location?
what are we
can't
doing?
tell you. Well, actually, no. We're going to fix it. They're going to be planned, very organized.
All right.
We're gonna get permits. We're gonna
really-
let all the businesses know weeks ahead of time,
It's really nice of you.
and then it'll be like 5 of us.
All right. That's not really a mob, but yeah.
Flash.
Okay.
I've always been a fan of those little pamphlets that door-to-door Christians slip you. If you're waffling about your worldview, Lord knows a six-panel comic about Jesus is going to really flip you the other side. Except I'm going to sex it up a little bit. All my stories are going to be about women in the big city finding sexual adventures.
Sex in the City tracks is what you're
Sarah,
Yes.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
doing. Okay.
What counts more as nudity? Seeing Angelina Jolie's CG boobs kind of underneath a gold plating or whatever she had as Grendel's mother, or when Sarah Jessica Parker gets splashed by the bus at the beginning of Sex in the City and she's wearing a really thin ballerina dress and you can kind of see her nipples in that. What counts more as nudity? I need
Angelina
to know
Jolie.
for science.
Angelina Jolie. Elise, what about you? What's your answer?
Of course, radio plays. Old-fashioned radio plays. We'd all have transatlantic accents,
Ah!
and we would reenact
Hey,
our...
Elise.
Yeah,
Which way should we go? I say.
I go, Bruce, you said that we would all get it.
I'm like, ding, 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 ding! He's got a gun!
The Bobby is here.
Oh!
Oh no, he's brought his sound effects box! And then you have to bring out a tiny sound effects box, and it just goes wild.
Matt Peak, what would you do?
I think to start filling out more things to sell in the RT store, we start
Is he
doing-
advertising for Rooster Teeth every
Say
answer?
porn.
we start selling the podcast on cassettes,
Ah.
and we can sell RT branded Walkman.
Funhouse tapes and Funhouse Walkman. Elise, next question.
Mog Psych. I'm home visiting my parents for 2 months, but absolutely losing my mind being stuck in the house with them for this long. What fun activities can I do with them to spice up my visit?
Play a little game with them called Try to Catch Me Masturbating. You start with the most secluded area of the house. Rub one out there. But then you step it up. Now it's in the middle of the day. Now I'm standing in the kitchen sink. Now I'm in the driveway. Let's see how long it takes for someone to bust me a little bit. Oh, you got me.
It sounds like 11-year-old Bruce.
I'm gonna take Lawrence's, but then flip it. I think you parent trap them. You see if you can get your parents to fall in love.
Oh,
That's a good idea.
That's really nice.
God knows they don't love each other.
What
Yeah.
hijinks?
I say you fake your death and then hide the body yourself. Then you knock on the door and you are now the long-lost twin.
Oh,
But you can be the bad boy.
Exactly. But you need to be tamed.
I would say fun activities you can do with them is you trick them into doing your chores for you.
Wacky.
Like Tom
What a
Sawyer.
wild
So
summer.
instead of the laundry, what you do is you're carrying dirty laundry through the house, and you like, whoops, you fall and it falls into your mom's arms.
Uh-oh,
And
what's
then
she gonna do?
And then you accidentally hand her some detergent.
Whoa,
that falls
no.
on the top, like, whoops! And then you kick your mom and you push her in, and she slams into the washing machine.
Oh,
and
it's getting-
all
they
the
got
stuff
violent.
falls in.
You hold her face against it. Clean it.
I would lie out your clothes and your shoes in such a way so that way and hide so it looks like you got raptured. And then watch and see if your parents care or if they don't.
Do they
I'm
repent?
surprised.
Yeah, like he was the only one.
He masturbates so much. How did God pick him?
Matt Pig, what would you do with your parents?
You could build a fort.
Okay.
But you build a fort around their whole home.
Great idea.
So it's not a tiny fort. People build forts inside of things, not peak. He builds a fort around.
You protect their house. Build a moat. Get a
The
black
moat,
knight.
yes.
Last question.
All right, from, I can't read that.
JJ Dix.
Jidix. You're the newly appointed CEO of a nationwide pizza chain.
Oh, no.
Oh,
What
boy.
scandal causes your eventual public downfall?
A photograph of me shaking hands with Papa John.
Oh, why would you do that?
I didn't know.
Come on,
I
he
just
says
thought
the
he was
N-word.
a pizza man.
He says the N-word
He
all
always
the time.
wears the apron. He probably hasn't made a pizza in 20 years, but
What's the
how was I
problem?
supposed to know?
I'd probably get caught eating Sbarro
How
at some
dare
point
you?
because
Original New York pizza right there.
it's the best.
I develop a bad habit being around that product. And that habit would be shooting the butter garlic sauce when no one's looking. Except
that's
after
really
a while,
bad.
my habit would get so widespread it'd be real hard to deny it anymore. To the tune of me having like a giant grease stain on my shirt all
You'd
the time.
stink.
Being about 450
Yeah,
pounds.
you'd smell.
Freebase it.
And then, yeah, basically just finding because it doesn't come in the little cups. I'll have the 2-gallon jug and I'll just be knocking it back in the middle of the meeting. And I'll be like, Mr. CEO, can you please stop?
Stop it! Never get high on your own supply.
I've been exposed trying to cut corners by mixing the pizza crust with cement.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
idea, though.
It looks the same.
It'll work out for a few
Way more
years. You make a lot of money.
You save on the dough, and then you make the dough.
I would hold meetings, but as an old Italian stereotype. Welcome to Dr. Bibalicia to pizza.
What did he say?
I don't know.
We just want to know how the quarterly earnings are going. Did anyone get any of that?
Too ethnic.
Papa Bruce,
Yes,
why is there so much cement in the back?
because we gotta mix the cement for the new style of Waka.
The FBI's here.
We gotta let him go.
Can we get a translator? Do we have the budget for that?
We're doing the poison pill.
Matt Peak, how would you get fired from pizza?
I think I get busted for marketing the Impossible Meat Lovers pizza, but I just use meat.
Because he'd use actual meat instead of the
the impossible meat.
But I market the heck out of it. I say it's
Whoa,
impossible and it's
Why would
not.
you-
Legalize it
You're
or
a
whatever.
liar.
FDA approved.
You're
FDA
just
approved.
You're a liar.
If it bleeds, it's not meat.
I know how none of us are going to get fired from our very prestigious CEO job at a pizza place by letting the pizza burn by it sitting in the oven too long because we got our watches on and we always know what time it is.
This episode of Open House is brought to you by Vincero Collective Watches. Are you looking to increase your perceived success and wealth without paying a huge price tag? Vincero has a modern and contemporary style that looks bold and professional. Get the watch built for a boss. A luxury watch doesn't have to cost you a fortune, and you'll see why when you check out Vincero. Every watch is manufactured and quality checked by hand before being shipped out to you. This is the kind of attention to detail and dedication to quality typically only seen with luxury watch brands over $500, while Vincero watches start at a little over $100. With over 6,500 5-star reviews and a 2-year warranty, you can shop with confidence. You have to check them out. I know you'll love their watches just as much as I do. Go to vincerocollective.com/openhouseaugust and enter the promo code HAUS, HAUS, to get 15% off your entire order. Don't blend in. Stand out. Get a Vincero watch at vincerocollective.com/openhouseaugust and enter the promo code HAUS, HAUS. Do it now.
The pizzas are going up! And the monies are going up!
Can anyone tell me why he's covered in dough dust?
Old style building. There's a man standing in the dark. You look down and he's got a wooden leg. Also, he's got this really big puffy jacket on. He's also got this really interesting hat.
Yeah.
Is it a pirate?
And
You're
then
describing a
also
pirate?
he's got
an
a
eye patch?
Hold on, there's one
Yeah, a hook
last.
for a
There's an
hand?
icing on the cake. He's got his hand is a hook.
Yeah, it's okay.